by Western funds pouring in. I read a report somewhere, I can't confirm this, I don't know that anybody can, that $20 billion of aid in some one form or another can't be accounted for. What have you been hearing coming out of Monaco?
Well, just to inform your viewers, I lived in Monaco for almost 2 decades after I moved out of Canada, and after that I moved to Asia. I had a long phone call with a few of my Monaco mates over the last few days, and I'm not sure if you guys watched the news yesterday, but Vyacheslav Taran, a very wealthy Russian Monegasque or Monaco resident, was killed in a helicopter crash yesterday. And this has really sparked a lot of course, theories on why. He was also connected to a Ukrainian-funded organization that was helping people out. But I want to dial this back a bit here and just give the audience a real understanding about Monaco. Monaco is quite a unique place. It's about 35,000 population. 29,000 of those are actual Monegasque, or actually 6,000 of those are Monegasque residents. The other 29,000 are either millionaires or billionaires. And to get into Monaco, you have to go through a couple of tests. And one of the biggest one is to show your bank account. Okay. And the interesting thing here is that the connection here with this Russian billionaire, now this is the third billionaire in cryptocurrency that has died mysteriously here in the last 3 weeks. This is very strange stuff going on. And if you start to see the connections here on how this is all formed, there was a big report that did come out of the Ukraine in the summer. They called it the Monaco Battalion. I did ask my friends, are you seeing plates in the Ukraine? You guys have heard about the Monaco Battalion, I'm sure. They would say every 6th or 7th Ferrari or Lamborghini or Porsche has a Ukraine license plate on it, driving around in the Principality. There are yachts down there as well. And we got to look at how this, I'm going to call it the world's greatest or biggest washing machine, is actually playing out. We are seeing a staggering amount of money being raised here. And some of it's through crypto. Some of it's through banking systems, of course, interesting enough. And the SBI, you know, the State Bureau of Investigation in the Ukraine, started their investigation in the Monaco Battalion. But while they were doing that, they decided that they're going to investigate the people that are investigating these people. So they've also gone after some of the reporters that have put this paper out and said that they're investigating them as well. Quite interesting. One way to really shut down media by scaring the living bejesus out of them. So anyway, this goes in much deeper here. If you understand how the banking systems work in Monaco, it's very interesting. There's not that many banks. Monaco is the size of Central Park. That's it. It's 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. You can, you know, I drove around it for 20 years. I know pretty much every street there. Some of these billionaires were staying at the Monte Carlo Bay. I used to visit there every couple of weeks, swim in the pool. With a $2.5 million to $3 million annual rent fee, you got to have some dollars to hang around in this area. But where it gets interesting is a lot of these foundations and a lot of these charities that are being run have links to Zelensky. And the funds that are being brought into these organizations can only be brought into 2 bank accounts or 2 banks in the Ukraine, okay? And one of these banks are on one of the heads of the banks is under investigation by the Department of Justice for the tune of about $5.5 billion. So we're seeing that nice money supposed to be going towards a good cost, being funneled into the system, rerouted, heading out to Monaco, going into the washing machine and into the system. This is a textbook way to launder money. They're doing it. I don't think I have to remind the viewers here that Zelensky is, he has connections to BVIs, British Virgin Island companies, very cheap to open up, $2,000 or $3,000 to open up. You then get a quasi board of directors to hide who is behind these corporations. But I just wanted to bring this to light that we're seeing some mysterious things going on in the crypto market here, especially a Russian billionaire dies in a helicopter crash with clear weather in the Côte d'Azur. I mean, on a nice sunny day. Sorry, guys. In 20 years that I've been down there, I haven't seen it. But bizarre things do happen in Monaco. I don't know if you guys know that Safra Bank, there was a staged, his nurse apparently staged a rescue attempt, but he ended up burning down the bridge and the multi-billionaire in the same time. And then he magically escaped from prison. So lots of weird things go on in Monaco, but it doesn't surprise me. But when I was leaving Monaco, the Russians were coming in there heavily, but now it's the Ukrainians that are moving their money there. Lots of multi-billionaires are there setting up trusts, organizations, offshore bank accounts. And to me, if I was a taxpayer in North America, seeing this type of activities happening, it wouldn't surprise me that once all this is over, that Zelensky, maybe, possibly, would have a residency in Monaco when this is all done. It wouldn't surprise me. Just can't. Sorry.
Okay. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And I have to say, this is a story that I've seen before. I mean, I've seen it. We saw it in Afghanistan. We saw it in South Vietnam. Going back in time, I can remember similar things happening in the Greece of my childhood, where there was a major interest in supporting the political system in Greece from the United States because of the Cold War. Money poured in. It was profoundly corrupting. One of the ways to create corruption is to send money into a very, very poor country. Vast amounts of money. They completely distort the economy, the political system. They generate corruption. And of course, inevitably, a laundry is created and it ends up in places like Monaco.
Yeah, very real. It's very real. And I mean, it is going on right in front of our eyes. You can't really hide in a 2 by 2 kilometer principality like Monaco. Yeah. These bankers, it's happening, guys.
Absolutely. Now, the other thing about this, of course, is that it creates a financial incentive to prolong the war, because it means that there are people who are personally, materially benefiting from it in ways that are, unimaginable to most of us. I mean, there's the sums of money. You spoke about somebody being investigated for $5 billion, for example. I mean, I'm not saying all of that money's stuck to this person, but this gives us some idea of the funds that are happening. And of course, when these kind of machines, laundry machines, work, it becomes a kind of reason to keep a war going, because this particular class group of people who benefit from it, well, they have no real material incentive to achieve peace, to find a negotiation. And of course, they become violent themselves and dangerous. And that makes any idea of peace extremely difficult.
Yeah, I've compiled quite a bit of report on this. So if people do need my backup research, I'm happy to hand it over. But it continues to grow. I thought I was pretty much compiled everything until I got news last night that the billionaire's helicopter slammed into the side of a hill in Villefranche, which is, a 15, 20-minute ride. And the other interesting fact is that the passenger that was supposed to be flying with him canceled at the last minute. So this isn't this isn't a conspiracy theory. This stuff is in the papers. Monaco has a pretty good control on its own local media, that's for sure. Spending time there for 20 years, what gets out and what doesn't get out. But they don't call it a sunny place for shady people. There are some real honest, nice people that run good organizations and good companies down there. But then this is what really tarnishes the reputation of Monaco and really, drags it through. And it's very clear, after having a few conversations with my friends that live there as well, they said, yes, the Ukrainians are here. They're setting up. The yachts are, tied up to the moorings, and it's business as usual.